Good evening, ma'am. Right now I'm going to be explaining about the proxy configuration and HTML rewriter. So for the proxy configuration, first the procedure, we need to start from the Access Manager overview in the admin console, and then we need to give an IP address which is 172.17.5.20 for the access gateway. We have to click edit under configuration. That's the exact screenshot here we see. We have to click edit under configuration, and then we have to click reverse proxy authentication. Under the reverse proxy list, we have to click new, and then there is RX. Under reverse proxy it's RX, and then we need to select an IP address as the listening addresses. In the reverse proxy screen, under the proxy service list, we have to click new. So that's how we give a new proxy service list. And then we need to give a name for it, a DNS name for it, and an IP address. And this is how exactly it looks. The drop down list, we need to choose forward received host name, and under RX is the proxy service list. So in the reverse proxy host screen for RX, select the protected resources tab. In the protected resources screen, we need to select new, and then RX public must be entered in the descriptor and must be clicked OK. The URL path is there. It can be left as such, and we need to click on the HTML rewriting tab and disable the option enable HTML rewriting, or to disable it, and then click OK to implement this. This is how we accelerate RX. We can also test the reverse proxy. We can open a new browser and enter this URL. So if everything is configured correctly, it will be as welcome to the rx.com. If there's an error, then it should be checked back again. So enabling the extended logging on RX proxy. For enabling it, we need to go back again to RX proxy and edit it. We need to go to the logging tab, put a tick in enable logging, click new, enter a name, extended as profile type, select some of the things you would like to be logged, save and update your access gateway, and then there will be putty application icon. You must click on it, give a host name to it, which is an IP address 200.200.200.2, and we can log in as root, and the password is netiq000. Cat, using cat, we can view the details of it. The log file in the directory will be there. So it looks at the results of the log files. So this is how we can enable the extended logging, and then accelerating novel identity manager. This procedure from the access manager overview as seen in this screenshot, we can click onto the access gateway, and then there'll be this IP address. We need to give an edit under configuration, which is here in the screenshot. So we need to click into the reverse proxy authentication, and in that list you have to enter user app, and then give one IP address. There are 7 to 8 IP addresses. Give one for listening listening addresses, and then we can give the name, the proxy service name as user app, and then we have to give a DNS name, and then an IP address, and then the host header would be forward received host name, and then we need to give an OK as seen in the screenshot. These are the details that must be entered: user app.rx.com, and then an IP address, and then the drop down list, it's forward received host name, and then an OK. So we need to give a port number. A connect port is 8280, and then we need to give a pin list, and then few more details like the URL mask, and the pin types is bypass, and then OK, and then it would be updated. This is how we accelerate it. We can also test the reverse proxy again. So if everything is correct, it should be seeing as a novel identity manager, the introduction page, and then in the upper right corner, if you enter a Blake as a username and the password is novel, you can just view it. This is how we test it. Next is the lab details, that is to configure a proxy to www.external.com and the internal network. This website is called internal. The proxy, it is external. So using this in the future, we can it passes through the gateway. So in the reverse proxy list name, it could be rewrite, and we have to give another listening IP address. The listening addresses cannot be the same. It has to be different in every exercise that we do. and the proxy service name must be external, and published DNS name must be external.com. The web server IP address is 172.17.5.8, and the drop down list you must choose forward received host name. The configuration will be successful. And then now HTML rewriter. We have to configure HTML rewriter. So the procedure, the objective of this lab is to be able to display the contents of the internal URL with a public external URL. The contents of the internal URL we're going to display it in the public external URL. From the public workstation, open a browser and enter the URL http www.external.com. A website that cannot find its pictures is seen. The pictures will not be available. By looking at the source code of www.internal.com is seen and uses to reference the images for the website. As you can see over here, there's external and there are no pictures that's displayed. That's how we configure it. So replacing internal with external, how do we do the replacing is, so modifying the external proxy that was created under the rewriter group, click on the HTML rewriting tab and then additional DNS name list. So add the internal.com and then click OK. So click new under the HTML rewriter profile list, and then a word search boundary will be there. So at the bottom of the page there will be additional strings to replace, and then we need to enter manager 4 for the search and manager 3.2 for the replace with, and click OK. So we move the external profile in the HTML rewriter profile list by the up arrow, and the changes will be updated. So for testing, now the images will be displayed. First the images won't be, but now when we replace it will be displayed. So from the NAM, that is from the public workstation, we have to enter this URL. Now the graphics will be working because we already replaced internal with external. So these are the various procedures that we've seen. Thank you.